completely worthless, and I'm thinking to myself, I am a smart woman. How could I let this relationship or this particular person make me believe that I am this small, that I am worthless, I am nothing, I am, I am not even worth living on this earth. I grew up with religion, so I had knowledge of Jesus, I had knowledge of God, so I had the foundation of who Jesus was and who God was, but I had no relationship with him at all. For most of my adult life, I suffered from depression, anxiety, feelings of worthlessness, and you kind of just grow up believing these things when you go through your adulthood. So I struggled with this for a long time. And it wasn't until I ended up in a relationship that was very abusive, emotionally and mentally mostly, where I just kind of went on a downward spiral. But all along, during this relationship, I felt like this wasn't right. This is not right. I know I'm not worthless. Anyways, in the relationship that I was in, I learned a lot about myself, but it was actually this person's parents who were born-again Christian. So they had been born again for about 10 years. And where things started to stir within me was they invited me to go to church with them. So I went to church. I felt something stirring in me when I was in this church. It was very different than the church that I grew up in. It was very, I don't know, it was something more uplifting about it. It was wonderful. When I left the church that day, I felt such an amazing feeling of feeling like peaceful and uplifted, and I just felt like, wow, there's light at the end of the tunnel. Like I felt amazing. Anyways, the relationship kept escalating and escalating as time went on, emotional, mentally abusive, and then to the point where it started to escalate to the point where it was starting to become physical. At that point, I knew that was it. In this instant, this thing in my head, something in my head was saying to me, this is not the road that I want you to go down. This is not what I have in store for you and for your life. And he said, now is your chance. Let's go. Let's get out of here. And we just went. No control over the situation at all. So that day, I really felt like I was carried. A year goes by, I kind of ignore this whole thing that just happened within me, like it was something supernatural for sure that had occurred inside of me, and I kind of just pushed it aside and I said, it's just, my crazy mind. And at this time, my self-esteem was at an all-time low. All these things are going through my head. I have no idea what's coming or what's in store. So for the whole year, I was in a state of grief. I was grieving. I couldn't really do anything. I just felt like lowest of the low. I didn't know what to do. I was trying so hard to maybe even try and reconcile with this person. I thought maybe I could reconcile, because the reason why I stayed for so long was that I felt like I needed to prove to this person that yes, I am worthy. Yes, I am not stupid. I am, I'm worth something. I'm valuable. So I felt this need that I needed to prove to this person. But finally, I just gave up trying to prove. And so I went and I tried all these other things. I tried yoga, I tried meditation, I tried counseling, I tried everything, searching for something that was gonna lift me out of this dark place. I've always been involved in exercising, so I started running to try and get, these feelings out of me and try to, release the stress. And I ended up running past this church every time I was running, and it had this church on the outside had a big cross on it. And I just felt this, some sort of gravitational pull, like Like I needed to go to this church because I had felt previous to that this great feeling when I went to church with this person's parents, you know, years before. So almost a year later, after I had left this house, that I went to this church, and I went into this church, and it was Easter weekend, and there was scripture that they were reciting, and there was music, and it was so amazing. And it was that day in particular that I said, I have tried everything, Lord, I have tried everything, and I can't do this by myself. So in my head, he said, well, I am here for you, and I want you to come to me. I gave my heart to the Lord because he is the only one that will ever help me and that I can come to, and I know will always love me. And with him, I will never be lonely. I want to be baptized because number one, it is a command that I've been given. So, you know, that voice in my head says, okay, I've brought you through the last 3 years. We've worked, we've done this. I've brought you through these experiences where you've learned, you've grown. Now it's time. It's time for you to share your story. It's time for you to be baptized. And I want to be baptized because I want to be obedient. And I also want to declare that I am part of, that I'm a Christian, and this is what I want to do. And it's a symbol for me that it's the cleansing and the rebirth that is so important to me, and that symbolizes why I want to be baptized. The difference too that it's made in my life is that I don't want people to think that, oh, my life is so, you know, rainbows and peaches and cream now. It's not like that at all. It's still, you know, there's still work, there's still healing, there's still learning. But the difference is that now I don't have to go through it alone. I have Jesus living in me who's going to walk me through what I need. When I need him to walk me through, he will be there with me. And for the times that I need him to carry me, he will. So I have the peace of mind knowing that whatever's coming my way, whatever obstacle, whatever mountain I have to climb, he is there with me and is going to help me through it. And that is the big difference.